welcome back to the second edition of Californiathon, sponsored by Twitch. I am Darkman. I'm going to be your host for the next few hours, and coming up right now, we have Tetris the Absolute, the Grandmaster 2 Plus, run by Kitaru. This is a special incentive that, thanks to all of the generous donations that everybody has made throughout the course of the marathon, Kitaru's agreed to play this game for us. So, guys, I know everybody loves Tetris the Grandmaster. Let's get it started.
All right, I guess I'll just get on into it then. I'm going to start with Master Mode, which is sort of a scoring and speedrun hybrid mode. I'll try to explain as much as I can through like the first half of the game. First off, I guess what I would say is TGM is sort of it's balanced for speed and for scoring and everything. It's sort of a refined version of some of the classic Sega arcade versions. There's a lot of different versions of Tetris, so I guess to focus on what makes TGM differentiated is a lot of stuff is really simple to learn, but when you master these simple systems, you can use them to play very fast. Everything comes out, everything's bufferable. During the time before a piece comes out, there's like a short delay before the piece appears. You can hold a button or direction, and then as soon as the piece appears, that action happens. So sometimes you hear like a metallic sound when like that, for example, it comes out rotated vertically. I'm not sure if it's very visible right now. But every time you hear that little like swing sound, I pre-rotate a piece. Same with like holding left and right. When the piece comes out, it'll be moving full speed. I don't have to wait for the delay on the auto repeat. It's sort of like a keyboard key repeat action that kind of goes on with holding left and right. And as long as you hold the direction long enough before the piece comes out, it just is already past that initial like charge time. The other thing that's special about TGM2 in particular is when you hold up, the piece gets sent down kind of like a hard drop, but it doesn't lock into place, which lets you do a lot of like kind of fighting game sort of motions to throw pieces under things or twist them into place. I'll do a little bit of recovery here in a second. The other thing is you'll notice on the top right corner of the screen there's a little number that sometimes occasionally changes. That's the grade system. There's sort of a scoring going on in the background that, to simplify things down, is you want to play fast, consistently, and get a lot of Tetrises, which is 4-line clears. There's sort of a like counter in the background that's tracking your score for the grade, and it ticks down over time while you're moving the pieces around. The best analogy for it is kind of like a leaky bucket, and you want to fill this leaky bucket up before it empties out. So you want to play fast, you want to make high scoring clears, and then when you fill it up to the next tier, you'll get another grade up. Let's see what else is special about TGM in particular. One of the things that is definitely the speed. TGM pioneered going to some of these higher speeds. So right now I'm kind of in what we kind of call the awkward gravity section. It's before we get to instant drop speeds, but still rather fast. A lot of players actually have a little bit of trouble with the slower speed at this point, because it takes maybe like 5 frames to get to the bottom of the playfield. It's a lot easier when you either know it's like low gravity and you have a lot of time to manipulate the piece, or like instant gravity and you know like exactly what it's going to be doing. It's a little bit dicey when it can like fly over some things like situationally. But at the 500 mark, level 500, it goes to instant drop speeds. Level system is also kind of interesting in this game. It's rather than be based on lines, it's pieces placed plus lines cleared. So during a section, sometimes the speed can like change up or down as you go along. So it's a little bit more dynamic in that way. terms of optimizations for speed in the instant drop section, it's helpful that you can buffer all of the actions. So if I hold down before the piece comes out, as soon as it enters the playfield, it will lock into place. If I'm not moving it anywhere, if I'm just placing it in the center, I'll just want to hold down as soon as possible. Other things are, since you're near the playfield a lot of the time, you can use wall kicks, which is where the piece will nudge around off the stack to rotate if it would collide normally. It'll try to nudge it one space to the left or the right, which is useful for just like doing interesting moves like twisting things under other blocks, but also because you can use it to save frames by hitting some rotation buttons and like pushing off of the wall. Sometimes you can avoid pressing the joystick twice in a row, which is kind of a heavy operation. It's kind of like how in other speedruns, if you have an option to mash 2 buttons instead of 1, it would be a faster or more efficient option. So those are a lot of moves where you'll press the joystick once and press all the rotation keys to push off the wall with the rest of that. And also, the game continues to get faster through these sections by shortening other frame timings. Block delay gets shorter only in the final section, but through here, like the amount of time I have to prepare for each piece shortens, the amount of time the line clear animation takes to go shortens. So the pace of the game continues to grow faster, even though gravity is already at its maximum. I just want to focus on Tetrises. 2 Tetrises will be a grade up every time. I want to get to grade S9, which is the maximum I can get during the main game. Oh, a little bit of it. I may miss this by a little bit, but I will kind of grind. They're at the level stop right now. We'll try to grind for some score. Okay, wow. I don't know if this will work, though. Oh, okay, good! See it right now, but I don't know what's going on. I've lost some of my playfield state here. I think I've recovered. Alright, we're good. Yeah, it was a little dicey at the end. There's a number of requirements you have to meet through the main game in order to get the invisible credit roll for Master or Grandmaster grades to appear. So you need like a lot of speed consistency checks through the game, and you also need a certain number of Tetrises in certain sections, and you also need to have a grade of maximum S9 by the end of the game. And so I got it on that last line clear across into the credit roll. I want to see something real quick. I want to check the scoreboard. If you clear enough lines in the invisible credit roll, you get a orange line. No, I only got a green line. That's all right, though. You have to clear 32 lines to get the maximum score that's possible in the game. Okay, well that's that's master mode. I guess the next mode I will play is death mode, and the difference between death mode is it's instead of a scoring focus mode, it's purely survival and speedrunning. There's actually, you have to meet a cutoff at the halfway point of the game in order to progress to the second half. It's 3 minutes and 25 seconds in order to go to the second half of the game. And it starts at instant gravity. It's faster than anything you see in Master, and you just go at it. So, gonna give it a shot.
Do we have a time for a quick donation before we?
Oh yeah,
begin?
you can go ahead and read. I'm just gonna play.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to talk at all, so
Okay.
go for it.
Is it okay if I just talk then while you're doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Just want to let everybody know that again, this is Californiathon. We are raising money for Direct Relief, which is a charity that helps people who need help. Basically, any sort of thing that needs help: disaster relief, poverty relief, emergency relief, any sort of that, anything like that. So. Big shout outs to Direct Relief. Big shout outs to everybody who's donated so far. We've hit over $13,000 in donations, which is fantastic for this short weekend. So thank you everybody at home. And we do have a donation. So we do have a $50 donation from Artina. It says, "Did somebody remember the free ice cream?" Thank you very much for your donation. Just letting everybody know that we do have an upcoming incentive to be met still. We have the Castlevania Symphony of the Night Richter Any Percent race by all the runners that are doing the Richter All Stages race. So basically, right after that initial race, they will do another Any Percent Richter race. So it's 170 out of $500. So we still have quite a bit to go. So get those donations in to see that happen. You got about let's see, we have an hour or so until that happens, so not too much time, but definitely we can make that happen. The lock delay is pretty tight in here. I tried to do something that required me to press the button twice at the same time. Twice in a row, I mean. And I didn't have enough time to do it. Oh man. Sure, we're okay. Maybe. That's the first half of the game. Yeah, but not quite into anything else. Do we have time to try one more shot, or should I bounce off of it? Okay. Yeah, it's like a 6-minute mode, so let's give it one more shot. Let's give him another round of applause. Let's go one more time. Come on, guys. Kitaru can do this.
Try to keep it a little cleaner this time. It's hard because you're struggling with like a time requirement in the first half, so you don't want to be playing too slow. But you also want to be able to keep things a little bit under order. I would really like another piece. There we go. TGM has 3 rotation buttons. One of them just duplicates left rotate, so there's 2 left rotates and 1 right rotate. The reason for that is so you can press both of the left rotates and spin the piece 180 degrees very quickly. So a lot of little touches like that that allow you to just play very fast, optimize on your input. Yeah, center setups like this are kind of bad during instant gravity because it drops right in the middle and you can't move it around. So kind of weed that out a bit. Oh, there was a warp I could have done to throw the piece over to the right, but I did it a little too slow. I could have saved myself. All right, well, that's death mode though. It's kind of brutal. It's hard to be consistent. That's one of the modes that's definitely tough. But I at least got to show the full first half of the game and how fast it gets. And then the second half of the game is pretty much at the same speed. The lock delay gets 1 frame shorter, and you just have to survive out through the rest of the last 500 levels. But that's Tetris the Grandmaster. It's brutal and fast and fun.
Fantastic job again at Kitaru doing Tetris the Grandmaster 2. So coming up next, we do have the Castlevania Portrait of Ruin run by Rom Scout, and so this is basically leading up into our Castlevania block. So stick around, guys.